What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today, we need to talk about the Digimon Ban List. The banned and restricted list of the Digimon TCG has gone and been updated, and we knew it was being updated. They gave us ample warning, but it has now gone and been updated, and quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, this is a bit of a big deal. Lots and lots of changes have gone and happened. So we need to have a bit of a chat about this, ladies and gentlemen. This is a bit of a big deal. So these go into effect for Japan. The Japanese version of the game is going to go in on February the 1st, 2022, which is about 2 weeks later. The English version will go into effect on February the 25th, 2022. But on the official announcement over on the Facebook, Digimon Bandai have gone and made a very clear statement that they will not be implemented for the 2021 final championships. These bans and restrictions will not go into effect at that stage. Now, there are actually a couple of other ones which are going to be restricted in April for the BT08 pre-release, which does actually give us a little bit of a hint about when BT08 is coming out, which is quite nice. We'll get there in a moment. The point is, they've gone and done some bans and restrictions. So the only one that is actually being banned is Mega Digimon Fusion. This is your card from BT5, your zero-cost option card. The next time one of your Digimon digivolves from level 6 to level 7 this turn, reduce the memory cost of the Digivolution by 6. At the end of the turn, return the Digimon that digivolved with this effect to the bottom of its owner's deck. Trash all of the Digivolution cards of that Digimon. He gone, ladies and gentlemen. He gone. Essentially, now shout out to Spencer Foolin here, and I'm sorry for the pronunciation, who has gone and translated this from the Japanese announcement, which has actually gone and given information in a way that the English, as we sit here at the moment, actually hasn't. But essentially, this is apparently due to Susanumon. And essentially, Susanumon is a really good game ender, and it lets you evolve from a tamer for free. And that's just too much, ladies and gentlemen. That is just, it's too much. It basically breaks it. So Susanumon, for those of you that may have forgotten, and again, that's not an issue now, but it will be for BT7, by placing a total of 10 cards that are tamers or Digimon cards or hybrid in their form from your hand or trash at the bottom of your deck, you may digivolve this card in your hand onto your tamer as if the tamer is a level 6 Digimon. But it's a 7 cost to do so it's kind of awkward, except now we got a card that actually allows you to do it more easily. Nah. Now, of course, I should have mentioned this a moment ago, but let me say it now. The reason why this is effective as of February the 25th is that is when the BT7 pre-release is happening. So basically, Mega Digimon Fusion is fine, because the big problem is with Susanumon, which isn't out until BT7, but when it does come out in BT7, it becomes a little bit of a problem. Now, there are 4 other cards that are not being banned, they are being restricted, one of which is it's the only one I really predicted because everyone kind of knew it was coming. It's Icewall from EX1. I told you I wasn't really going to play the what's going to be banned game. It wasn't a video I was particularly keen on doing. I know a lot of people did, and I'm assuming today is a day where everyone either pats themselves on the back or pretends they never made predictions. But Icewall was the one I saw on every list. It seems like one which was just almost inevitable. And it's one of those cards where as soon as you look at it, you're like, oh, mate, this could be a problem. This could be the thing which actually, this is not how we want the game to go. Because what we have is a 1-cost card, and 1 cost is very cheap. And that 1-cost card says, all of your opponent's Digimon lose 2 memory when attacking until the end of their next turn. And essentially what this was, it was supposed to be a bit of a defensive card that allowed slower decks to have a little bit of a chance. And what it actually turned into was a horribly oppressive card that just completely ruined the flow of the game. So what they said over on the Japanese site was that it went past its intended defensive use and it messed with the tempo too much. That one should not be terribly controversial. That's kind of one that we all saw coming. Now, the other one which is going to be restricted as of the BT7 pre-release is Reinforcing Memory Boost from BT6. That is a 6-cost card. You reveal the top 2 cards of your deck, place one of them on top of your security stack face down, and the remaining card goes in your hand. Then this goes in the battle area, and then it's got delay to gain you free memory. So basically it recovers a card and puts a card into your hand, but you do have a tiny bit of choice as to which one goes on top of your security, and then you can gain free memory later on, so you've only actually spent a net of free memory. It's really good. On the website, they said it was too versatile compared to the other boosters, but when you've got a situation where you are basically drawing a card and recovering and then getting the delay later on, these memory boost cards are cool. They give you the option of, getting that memory back later on in the game, and that's a good thing. But none of them are quite as good as this. And essentially what they're doing here, right? They're looking at the results of tournaments. They're looking at which cards end up being a bit too good. And yeah, this one unfortunately fell into the trap. Sorry. So as of February the 25th, that is, and again, it's February the 1st in Japan, with the BT7 pre-release, we've got Mega Digimon Fusion banned. And then we've got Reinforcing Memory Boost and Ice Wall being restricted. And for those of you that have forgotten, restricted means you can have one copy in your deck, but only one. There are then 2 other cards which are being restricted, not now, but in April 2022 when the BT08 pre-release happens. Now, as a side note, that's interesting to me. It doesn't give us a date. I'm assuming that is late April, because my prediction has very much been that we are getting a February set, a May set, an August set, a November set every year. So if we had the pre-release in very late April, but BT08 released in May, that would be in line with what I'm expecting. But we don't have a complete date, but this is the first news we've got, I believe at least, in terms of a potential release date for BT8. That's pretty big. And the one that seems to have everybody bent out of shape, I've been reading around everybody's opinions today. I've been taking a little bit of a look at what people are saying, and it seems to be that a lot of people are a little bit upset about Saviour Huckmon. It's gone to be restricted to 1 card. People don't seem happy. Now, as a level 5, when you Digivolve, you may play a Systemon without paying its memory cost. And then it's got an inheritable skill when you are attacking once per turn. If you have a Digimon with Systemon in its name in play, unsuspend this Digimon. And although this is a pretty good card, it lets you play a card for free and blah blah blah, let's not pretend that this is actually what we're talking about. We're talking about Jesmon. This is a Jesmon thing. Jesmon, great card. When you are attacking, you can play a Systemon from your hand or trash for free, which is certainly better than playing one, but it's got to be in your hand and only when you Digivolve. That's much more awkward. Playing from the trash when you attack is way better than playing from your hand when you Digivolve, and this Jesmon is actually from your hand or your trash when you attack. And once per turn when you play another Digimon, which of course you will when you attack, you gain 3,000 power and piercing, so you end up as a 14,000 power Digimon with piercing. But of course, we've then got Saviour Huckmon, which then will unsuspend you and let you attack twice with piercing and 14,000 power and all of that good stuff. Does not take a genius, ladies and gentlemen, to see that this might be good. Now, essentially what they said on the website, and I have found a Google translated version of it, essentially this combined with Jesmon has been at the top of the environment longer than expected. The width of the red deck is narrowing, so they're going to limit it to 1 card, which kind of makes sense. And then the final one, which is going to be restricted, is Eisemond. That again is going to be restricted as of the BT08 pre-release. Incidentally, it does say April 22 upon BT08 pre-release. That means that if the BT08 pre-release is delayed, presumably this restriction will be as well. But it's the Eisemond from BT7. When you trash this card in your hand using one of your effects, if Eisemond Scatter Mode is in your trash, you may play this card for free. And for each Eisemond scatter mode in your trash, this gets an extra 2,000 power. And what they said over on the official website over in Japan, by combining this with Eisemond scatter mode, it was too easy to increase Digimon in the battle area at no cost while exchanging hands, so it's limited to one card. It's basically the fact that you can basically just play all of your Eisemond for free, and that becomes a little bit of a problem. It just ended up being a little bit too good. I mean, Eisemond scatter mode we haven't mentioned yet, let's mention it now. On deletion, you draw 3 cards and then trash 2 cards in your hand, so it wasn't that difficult to end up trashing them and then playing them for free, and that became a little bit of an issue. And Bandai are looking at this pretty closely, so they've decided these are the only cards that are going to be an issue. So these are the only ones that get banned or restricted for now. The full list, just one more time, as of BT07 pre-release, Mega Digimon Fusion is banned, and Reinforced Memory Boost and Ice Wall are restricted. As of the BT08 pre-release, Saviour Huckmon and Eisemond are both restricted. That is 1 copy per deck. They're not banned, but they are restricted. And this is going to have a big impact. I mean, Jesmon as a deck, I'm not saying it's completely rubbish now, but I am saying it is significantly worse than it was before. A bunch of decks are going to have to readjust, losing Reinforcing, Memory Boost, and Ice Wall, and your Eisemond decks are nowhere near as good, and Susanumon is not going to be crushing like we expected it might. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. So there we go, that is the ban list, that's what's being banned and restricted, and that's when, but now it's over to you guys. How much do you agree with this? Do you like the ones that have gone and been banned, or do you wish some of them had been kept? And do you think there are any that were missed that should have been added to the list? Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.